Our next question for part 4 is referring to the text. Explain why they think Quicksilver Roxy is better at branding than Rip Curl, and there's 3 marks there. Again, we're looking for 1 or 2 key points. We're looking for supporting quotes within your writing, and we're looking for a really clear topic sentence. So the author believes that Quicksilver and Roxy is more successful in its branding than Rip Curl because. Then explain your points with evidence. Number 5 is where you get to be a bit more creative. So we're going to offer a suggestion for how Rip Curl could improve its branding, explaining what problem it would address and why this would be a suitable solution. So 3 marks. So the first one is saying, okay, what is one of the problems that Rip Curl faces? So let's say maybe Rip Curl attracts an older clientele, right? I'm just making this up. What would you do to rebrand for a younger clientele? And then why would that be useful? So let's say you decide that you want to get some new young surfers on board who can promote the product, and this would be using the celebrity appeal. Or you might say Rip Curl has designs that just don't appeal to modern people anymore. What would you do to modernize the design? Why would that be better? Anything you come up with is your call. You just have to have those 3 parts. What would you do? Why would you do it? And how would it be an improvement? Okay. So if we go through this article, now this one is quite long, so I'm definitely not reading the whole thing too, because you would want to throw something at me by the end of it. But pretty much as we go through and you read it in detail, we're going to find out that brand personality is very, very important because, where's my highlighter gone? Key companies with distinctive brand names market specifically to their respective subculture. So each brand will have a particular personality, and what I guess that does as an effect is it links to a consumer market who can then feel connected. So Rip Curl, their brand is quality, long-standing commitment to surf culture, longevity, and real surfers. No fakers are wearing Rip Curl. Now, have a think about what that means for the sale of Rip Curl to Kathmandu. Interesting. Now, then we've got the brand about Quicksilver and how they have gone a different route, which is far more fashionable, far more modern, and going beyond the surf community. Okay, so they're quite different. Rip Curl, you're wearing Rip Curl if you're a real surfer. Quicksilver Roxy is if you're a faker. Not really, but that's the kind of idea they're suggesting. Now, as we go through, I guess the main challenge these brands have is actually staying in touch with surf culture and actually being seen to be a really important brand, okay? So that's what we're seeing through here, that they must also market to snow culture, and they're seeking to characterize their brands with different personalities, okay? Brand names convey lots of meaning, which is really important for us as business creators. And then we can see here all the different aspects about brands. Okay, so please read this through. This is really important for your first couple of questions. Then as we go into subcultures and their relevance, what we're talking about here is something that's really important for your specific context, particularly with KI Surf, in that we need to think about how and where people are actually accessing your brand. Because brand communities are very important. They are basically the group of people who identify with the brand. So if I am a young surfer, what is it about that brand that's going to make me want to connect? So you've got this down pat with KI Surf because you're going to have a strong connection to Kangaroo Island, you're going to have a strong connection to South Australia, and you're going to have a really strong connection to the community within that group. So that's what we're talking about here. As we go through, the information is talking about what is it that actually makes